Today, I will be sharing the work done by my co-fellow, Tania Khalil, and I in our school community. As part of the 2019 Teach for Pakistan cohort, Dani and I went with big plans in August to a public school for girls located in a small rural community called Chishtiabad on the outskirts of Islamabad and started teaching fourth graders. Early on, we realized that the big dreams we had for our girls were only possible if the incredibly bright 96 girls we were working with had the ecosystems to support them, as they were 2 years behind where they needed to be and lived in an environment of severe resource constraint. So we spent the first 6 months of our fellowship understanding our kids' community so that it could become our own. We started to make great progress until March 2020, when all of our work was dramatically altered. COVID's first wave hit Pakistan and the schools closed, while all of us were battling with the spread of the scary disease. Our girls, in addition, were battling with much more. The world started to adapt and found digital ways to reestablish connection. For our girls, virtual classrooms were not an option though. Majority of our households in Chishtiabad had no access to broadband internet, smartphones, or laptops. 25% of households did not even have a basic cell phone. We tried various strategies to teach our girls, but we could not reach all of our students, and that wasn't good enough for us. We got through the first lockdown, and thankfully schools reopened in September. However, the girls weren't on the same path of learning they had been when we were abrupted. What we did realize, though, was that the parents and students were keen that their learning does not stop. And that was the biggest takeaway of school closures for us. Schools shut down again in November 2020, so we switched our approach. We laid out the problems in front of the parents, and together we started to brainstorm ideas for a solution that could ensure every child in our community gets to continue learning without compromising on their dreams. We needed a place outside of school where all of our girls could meet, more role models for their communities to support them, and the girls needed to experience the joy of learning again so that they could chase their dreams outside the school walls. Hence, during the second set of school closures, me, Tanya, and about 30% of our parents got to work to get our kids exactly that. Eventually, we ended up with our own little learning center that we like to call Listen Up. Listen Up was managed by the parents of Chishtiabad. When schools were closed up until a month ago, this was the only place where students in Chishtiabad could come to learn and play and watch movies or read. Much of the work the girls did was independent, showing an incredible spirit of collective ownership to support all their peers to keep learning. All of our students learned in groups, set up based on their learning needs. We had 3 volunteer teachers from the community who taught kids new academic content as well as supported them in their remedial work. On their grade level, kids tutored the struggling students. The impact this has created is that our assessments in April showed that our students who were coming to the Learning Center performed 57% better than those students who were not. Their parents were more invested in their child's progress, and these students held each other accountable, helping each other excel by being invested in each other's growth. Overall, our students were able to get to grade level in English and progress to 1.4 grade levels in maths and science. The Learning Center is still running. It is the only place in Chishtiabad and surrounding localities which has a library, computer, internet, printing facility, and a projector for the students' use. The parents and students plan to continue to keep Listen Up going as it acts as a supplementary system to school learning for these students, as well as offering computer skills, literacy, numeracy, and remediation classes to the general community. I'll stop here and will be happy to take on any questions you might have later in the discussion space. Thank you very much for being here. And in the end, I would like to leave you with these 2 reflection questions.